Hi there, a warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining the live chat. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. Let me welcome the participants. Then, two topics I will speak on in tonight's live chat. Mel Gabriel joined says, Akkam, Akkam. Akkam means salam, salam. Is it Tigrania word? Skandarevat here. Debo joined. Rita Tamaskan says, where are you from, my brother? Well, Rita, I am from Pakistan. David Safere here. Varailo. Mel Gabriel says, you should start speaking a Fano Romo. How can I? Abdi Hakim joined. Welcome, Abdi Hakim. Dagme here says, no sound, boring. Okay, if it's boring, no one is forcing you to be here. But why are you lying? No one is complaining about sound. Hassan Ibrahim here. Hailey Maskell joined. Aman Washe here. First member who joined tonight is Aman Washe. Abdi Hakim says it's one word, Oromo word. So Akam Akam is Oromo word. Dagme Kandar says, is it the drone who falls like leaves killed the Fano? Well, I know what you're saying, what you mean, Skandar. You mean to say that drones are falling like leaves? That's what I reported in a video this morning when I talked about Sudanese civil war. And you're suggesting that the drones, which are falling like leaves, are not capable of killing Fano commanders. Let me explain. Let me explain. Uh, Thank you, Geopolitical, watching for the last 4 years. First time in comment section. Special welcome, Geopolitical. PRC joined. Well, let me explain a little. I did a video this morning, and in that video, I said that in the last 7 months, uh, 8 or 9 Turkish drones have been shot down in Sudanese civil war, confirmed. Videos are there, pictures there showing debris, so there's no doubt about it. I said Turkish drones are falling like leaves in Sudan. Skandar is raising a point that how can these drones be effective in Ethiopia? There is a difference. Difference is that in Sudan, Turkish drones are being countered by UAE's weaponry. UAE has support of Israel. Though we have no confirmed report about use of Israeli weaponry, by RSF in Sudanese civil war, but I won't be surprised if I come to know that RSF are using intelligence, it may be some weaponry given by Israel. That's my assessment, by the way. Sometimes the assessment is correct, by the way. Uh, if you remember, during Tigray war, long before people knew about TB2s, I said TB2 drones were being used in Tigray civil war. No one back then knew the name of TB2s. I reached the conclusion after seeing the types of strikes and the types of losses suffered by Tigray forces. Since I had covered some wars, so I gave my assessment that TB2s were in operation in Ethiopia. And later, I think the report was confirmed. Everyone knew after that. Now, I think in Sudan too, Israel is involved. Turkish TB2 drones cannot be easily shot down. They're falling like leaves. There is Israeli technology in operation. UAE on its own is not in a position to develop modern technology. It always relies on support from other countries. So, difference is that in Sudan, Turkish TB2s are being countered by Israeli technology. In Ethiopia, Turkish TB2s are being countered by Fano fighters who have only AK-47. This is the difference. Let's start with two topics. Firstly, uh, Dawn Strike, in which Fano commander has been killed. Secondly, key meetings on Monday, which we'll talk about later. Uh, Fano commander has been killed in a Dawn Strike. Uh, the Fano commander is one of the veterans, by the way, one of the seasoned Fano commanders, tier 2 Fano commanders. This Phi Mikasha is the name of the man. On the thumbnail, I have encircled the man called Tisfai Mikasha. How was he killed? Tisfai is a commander of Amhara Fano National Force, AFNF. He is from North Shoa zone of the Amhara region. He was operating in North Shoa, Amhara. In North Shore, you know that two Fano groups are operating, AFNF and AFPO. AFNF is led by Dasalin, uh, Janata Mamu, and AFPO is led by Makatao, Skandanaga, etc. Tisfai Mikasha was from AFNF. And a few months ago, if you remember, AFPO captured hundreds of AFNF fighters. Did videos on that. His spy was one of those AFNF commanders who were kidnapped or who were captured by AFPO. So this spy and other Fano commanders and fighters were kept at unknown locations. They were kept close to a far border areas. If you remember, around a month ago, I reported that AFPU had released AFNF members. Did a video on that or in a live chat, I shared that with you. But still, there were restrictions on the movement of this Mikasha. He was being kept at a place, a camp protected by AFPO. Technically, you can say that he was still in the custody of AFPO when the strike was conducted by the Ethiopian Air Force. Strike was conducted by Air Force in North Shore. In that strike, Tisfai has been killed and some other Fano fighters have been killed. Fano groups won't acknowledge the death. They never confirm losses being suffered by Fano in drone strikes because if they start admitting losses in drone strikes, that will demoralize Fano fighters. Drones can carry out anywhere. They can carry out anytime. They can carry out strikes anytime. That is why they create insecurity. They scare uh, Fano fighters. That is why Fano groups always say that drone strikes are killing civilians. But what I have learned is that this five Makash has been killed in a drone strike in North Shore zone. In North Shore, you know that Fano fighters are killing prosperity party officials. They killed Kevat Wareda militia chief a few days ago in a targeted attack. They killed Kevat Wareda administrator lady last year. So Fano are committing assassinations in North Shore. Military is conducting precise drone strikes on Fano in North Shore. Peace and Love says, unrelated comment says, RSF will not be allowed to run rampant in Sudan. This is a direct threat to Egypt and Eritrea. Red line for them. They're prepared to intervene. Well, they have been intervening. I mean, Eritrea from day one has been involved. Egypt from day one has been involved. What is left is the direct intervention. Ethiopia is less involved. If to be honest, Ethiopia is less involved in Sudanese civil war than Eritrea or Egypt. Now Ethiopia is upping the ante and trying to be involved directly. Goracha is impressed with my intelligence gathering because the news is about the death of a Fano commander. And let's see if he'll be impressed with me or not with my way of work if I break a news about uh, a loss suffered by the other side. Birhanu says, how many Fano commanders have been killed so far? Well, several have been killed, but all who have been killed are not top commanders. None of them is a top commander. Ubante Abate was one of the main commanders, I think. Even he was not the traditional Fano head known to everyone for years. Those who have been face of Fano are still alive. I mean, Zameen Ikasi is the face of Fano. Mere Wodajo is the face of Fano. Massafent is the face of Fano. Skandar now is the face of Fano. General Taframamu, Mekatao, I call them tier one Fano commanders. None of them has been killed so far. Ubante Abate has been killed. Some others killed too, but none of them can be called a tier one Fano commander. Asagad Mekonnen was tier one, I think, but he surrendered. Uh, he surrendered because of or he was arrested because of infighting. Colonel was tier one too, I think, but Colonel now has been weakened as a Fano commander. His group has joined NF, and he's weak now. Masisha was tier one during Tegarai war, but I think after that he lost his group. So he became uh, uh, insignificant in Amhara as a Fano commander. Bakaji says, if Turkish drones failed in the Sudan war, can such air defense be given to the TPLF in Eritrea? Well, Baka, I just a few minutes ago explained. Maybe Israeli technology is in operation in Sudan, which is shooting down Turkish drones. Ethiopia has both Turkish drones and Israeli technology. Secondly, what's two important meetings after a few hours on Monday. Both meetings are crucial. Firstly, you know that Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli Prime Minister, going to meet with Donald Trump, the American president, in Florida. Meeting is crucial. Let's see what happens. Will Trump be convinced by Netanyahu to recognize Somaliland as a country? What will Trump say after meeting with Netanyahu? Though I believe that Israel already took Americans on board before announcing the recognition of Somaliland. Still, tomorrow's meeting is crucial, I think. Second crucial meeting on Monday is that of UN Security Council. You know that Isas Verki wants UN Security Council to take some big decisions on Monday. He urged in today's statement by written government that there should be action at the highest level, at UN Security Council level, against Israeli decision of recognition of Somaliland. UN Security Council will meet on Monday, and it's very likely that the UN Security Council members won't be able to create any consensus at the meeting. Americans won't support any resolution condemning Israeli decision. China is going to obviously condemn it. So let's see what happens. Two meetings after a few hours. Hopefully, I'll explain the outcome of the meetings in coming hours. Abel says, I'm a huge fan and I never miss a post, but my first time on your live chat. Thank you, Abel, for joining. Good to see you. Special welcome to you. Skandar says, is this fire more important to Fano than Masrisha? Yeah, definitely, definitely. He was more important, more influential. Uh, Masrisha had no real Fano group under his control. Mengistu Katilla says, tell us the truth. How much money did you make from Egypt weekly? Well, the truth is, I don't get a penny from anyone, neither from Egypt nor from Ethiopia, Eritrea. Whatever I get from YouTube. And for that, I work 12 to 14 hours a day. Whatever comes for free, perhaps it's not justified. Work, Work hard, tell the truth, think good about others, be positive. You will earn. But if you just start telling lies about others, that won't make you reach anywhere. Interesting life. That's what I hinted at. If you have watched the entire live chat, I think some Israeli anti uh, drone air defense systems could be in operation in Sudan, which are really playing havoc with Turkish drones. A new wave says, what's your honest position on Fano's progress? Well, they have made tremendous progress because I have been covering their activities from day one. If you compare their current capabilities and the capabilities of 2023, they have come a long way. But they could have gained more, they could have recorded more progress had they managed to create internal unity. The biggest challenge for them is their internal division. And they need to know that modern wars or modern resistance movements are different. They're not in 1990s, they are in 2025. They need to adapt. They need to have the right weapons. They need to have right anti weapons too, and they need to unite. Otherwise, I still maintain my position that they have come a long way. Zingaro says, please, people, leave alone Sajid. He's paid by YouTube. YouTube pays me, I pay YouTube. By the way, whatever content we make, I think 40% of a channel creator's earnings are taken by YouTube. 60% is what is given to creators. So we earn for YouTube. It was 25 minutes have passed. Let's end the live chat. Thank you for watching. It was good to be with you. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, for the next live chat. Try to address all your questions. If you don't like any of my comments, I hope you will ignore. There are some people who try to divert me. They don't want me to speak. Sometimes I just uh, try to be a little strict with them. But all of you are welcome to write. You're right. You're welcome to write, and I should also be allowed to speak freely. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Till then, bye bye.